Hi, so my name's Jessica and I've been wanting to make a video for a while now. This is my son Jax and he has a cleft lip, as I'm sure you can see. And I just wanted to finally make a video like the video I wish I could have found the day I found out. And as you can see, he is a happy, healthy baby, which is great, but the day we found out, I was devastated. I wondered if it was my fault. I didn't know much about clefts. I'd never met anyone with a cleft. I guess I knew a guy in high school, but it had been fixed and we weren't that close. But when we found out, the day we went to another ultrasound for them just to check, and I felt like they were going to tell me everything was fine. And so I guess that made me more in shock when they told me that he was going to have a cleft lip and palate. And what I couldn't find any, much information or videos on was the emotions that you go through and all the questions you ask yourself. And I just felt, even though the doctor was saying it's not your fault, I just wondered if it was my fault. Then after we left the doctor, I just had a flood of questions, but I was, skeptical to turn to the internet because they tend to, some of the worst things come up, the worst possible scenarios, and I didn't want to freak myself out, but I had so many questions, and I didn't know who to go to. I did find a Cleft Mom support group on Facebook, and they were very helpful with information as far as bottles and what to expect, but it wasn't a close enough connection for me to talk to someone about the emotions. And I really struggled with being happy again and excited about my pregnancy. I loved him and I obviously wanted to see him, but I just felt weighed down with worry. I wondered, and one of the things I've still not really even said to most extended family, I wondered if I thought my own baby would be cute, and that, or was I going to just look at him and just see a cleft and not be able to get past that? I obviously did. I think he is one of the most handsome babies. I have another son, so I can't say the most handsome. But it was just something I was ashamed to say, so I felt like I felt really alone. And okay, I need a minute. So some of the other questions I asked was weighing on me was, how is this going to affect my other children? I was already worried about having a third child and how much attention that would take from them and how much time. So then having a cleft affected child on top of that, I was just really worried that they would be jealous or feel lonely or, left out. We called our closer extended family, we have a very blended family, so our parents informed our closer grandparents before we told everyone else. Hey, Benny, you in too now? So we called them. I just really wanted the conversation of this cleft to be open conversation. I knew no one else in the family that was close really had a cleft. And I just wanted everyone to be able to talk about it, because by the time he was born, I wanted everyone to feel comfortable about it. I wanted, if anyone had questions, I wanted them to feel comfortable asking me and talking to me about it. Oh, buddy. Sorry. Hi. What do you see? I was concerned that, family, nothing, our extended family is great. We have a great support system, but I was just worried people would shy away from him, I guess. Or the kids in our family would be confused or uncomfortable asking about his cleft. And I was just worried he wouldn't get the same affection and attention that my other children got. And I just wanted him to be treated fairly and just like a normal baby. Hi, you want to turn back around? I breastfed my son. I tried to breastfeed my daughter. So knowing that he probably wouldn't be able to breastfeed was harder for me than I thought. And then now him being born, I do pump. That's what I think is best. That it's up to everyone, to each their own sort of thing. But that's what I chose for him. So I spend a lot of time pumping and feeding him, and it's just time consuming. It's going fine. We haven't had any major struggles, but it's definitely something we probably wouldn't have ran into if he wouldn't have had a cleft. And I was worried that I either wouldn't be able to feed him at all, even with a bottle, or that family wouldn't be able to feed him, or that he would be just not a happy, relaxed baby for whatever reason, he couldn't feed, or if he wasn't given a lot of affection. I had a hard time getting excited about being pregnant. Again, just because I was so worried about all these factors, and there was no way to find out the answers until after he was born. Also, when we had our ultrasound, they never got a good look straight on at his face at all. So that left the severity of the cleft completely unknown to us. We definitely worried about rude comments from people and what people would say. We live in a rural area, so I didn't know how people would be towards him. Hi, can you smile? Show him a smile. So far, adults have been very good about it. They either haven't said anything at all, or they have asked me, but definitely in a polite way. Kids will surprise you. Kids will ask very bluntly and abrupt and in any situation. But me and my husband have just tried to educate kids when they ask and be patient with them, even if they're not being very subtle or anything about it. Hi, handsome boy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy boy, crazy boy. The biggest comment I've run into that's been a struggle for me is the comment, his cleft is not that bad. Which it is not. We expected it to be more severe than it is, and things they've gone easier than I expected because his cleft wasn't as severe. But I just feel like that comment's a double-edged sword, because yes, I'm grateful. Some people definitely have it way worse. And I'm grateful that we've had an easier journey as far as cleft goes and defects go. But when people say that, I always feel like it's still hard. It still takes time. Surgeries weigh on our mind. His surgery's in a couple months, and I got worried. I got slammed with worry right before Christmas for no reason at all, just because it's getting closer. And in talking to my husband, I told him I don't want praise for doing it and it being hard. I don't want pity for doing it and the fact that it's hard. Just people saying it's not that bad. I know they don't know what to say, or they're trying to be comforting, or they're just trying to talk to me about it, which is very nice of them, but it just makes me feel alone, because I do try and be positive about it, and I don't want to be this, big rain cloud of someone trying to support me, so I don't say anything, but then I really just end up feeling really lonely. And it's hard, but out of my 3 kids at this age, he is the happiest baby. He is happy, he's playful, he's vocal, and our situation is turning out really well. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm very worried about his surgery coming up. I just don't want to see him in any pain. And I think that's a concern for any mother or parent. Hold on, I'm gonna go hand him over to Daddy. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, he is starting to fast, so I wanted to hand him over. Just finish this up real quick. So, like I was saying, I'm worried about his surgeries. I don't want to see him in any pain. Our daughter had to have a mild surgery, and it was way more intense than I expected. Seeing her wake up from that, putting her to sleep, it was just more than I expected. But I kind of took that as maybe that was supposed to happen, so I knew how to be prepared, and was mentally prepared for his surgeries coming up, since he's a lot younger. And I know we'll get through it. I'm just, worried about balancing the 3 after the surgeries. Maybe I'll make another video to talk about things that worked and didn't work after. But I'm making this video now just because I felt like I couldn't find what I needed to find when we first found out. So I'm just hoping, even if one parent sees this, they'll feel a lot better after seeing it. Sorry. And I know things could have ended up much worse as far as defects go. Some people have it a lot worse. There are obviously defects that affect quality of life way more than clefts. But to cleft moms or other moms that are affected by birth defects or any struggles in general, just because someone else's story or life is worse does not make your life any easier or better. It can make you grateful, which, it is good to look at the positive side of things. Trust me, it is. And it will help. But it's not... Someone else's life being worse or better than yours does not actually make your life easier or harder or worse or better. And I just wanted to say to other moms out there that you're not alone. I live in a small community. There's not really any groups. Our hospital for our cleft baby is 3.5 hours away. And they said they would put us in touch with some families once he has a surgery. But as of right now, I have my extended family. I do have good parents, good in-laws. Oh my gosh. My in-laws are what people wish they could have. My parents are great. I have a lot of siblings. and everyone's supportive, but they still haven't been through it. It's still hard. So if you can find other Cleft moms out there, even if it would be through Facebook, even just one to talk to, I'm sure a lot of Cleft moms feel the same way I did. I just couldn't find anyone who had put it out there to be able to see how other people felt, and the not so nice concerns, and not some of the more shallow worries about what he's gonna look like, how are other people gonna judge him. But so the point of all this is just to let other moms know, from one mom to another, that you're not alone, and try and find at least one person. I still haven't found any other Cleft moms that I really talk to, but I do have a good support system. But I know there are other people out there that don't have as good of a support system as I do. If anyone would want to contact me, I'm by no means any expert or a doctor, but I'm in it, and I'm living it, and I'm going through it, and I just wanted someone else to not feel like they're alone, or to feel like someone understands them. And your pregnancy is full of a lot of unknowns and a lot of questions, but when you see them, it does get easier, and you just do what you have to do, and you really will. You'll be okay, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out what bottles they need, if they can use a pacifier, what kind of pacifier, and you'll find ways to finding solutions to whatever you run into. But you'll get through it, and I hope this video would make it a little easier for somebody, even just one person. Alright, well, hopefully I may make another video for you guys if it seems like this is getting out there. But I just hope this helps somebody. Alright, bye.